Here's how you can contribute to GitHub pages. First, identify the issue that you're working on. Note that it has an ID, and here we have an ID 43. Going to our guidance, in the About section, you'll find information in the contribution guide. The first step is setting up a gitconfig file. Mine looks a bit like this. I'm defining the name and the email. This makes sure that you get credit for your contributions. You can list your gitconfig file here. More information can be found on the Git page. The next step is going to be cloning the repository. You only need to do this once. In your page, click Go to Repository, click Clone or Download, make sure this is a Git URL, copy it, and do a git clone. Inspect the directory to see that everything has been downloaded. The next step is to create a branch. I'm using 43, which is my ticket ID, and a meaningful name. Now we're going to run a local build. This lets us test our changes before we push them to the main repository. Let's test this out. Next, we're going to create some content. With the local build running, we're going to navigate to the docs directory. We're going to find the section we wish to contribute to. And I want you to pay attention to a couple of files here. First, the pages file. This gives you the section title, as well as helps you arrange the tools. Let's say we want to add another tool called Chaos Monkey. Note the dash between chaos and monkey. I'm going to copy the template to a file called chaosmonkey.md. This is a markdown file. Let's refresh the page. And you'll see a new section called Chaos Monkey has appeared. Let's make some changes. Now the structure. First, we're using a number of plugins that enhance Markdown. For example, you can use the free question marks with info or warn tags to describe concepts. You can use underline to define headings. And all typical Markdown notations exist. You can find more information on what you should be editing here by looking at the About Contributing section, which gives you examples on how you can create these type of groupings. More information can also be found on the material for mkdocs theme. You'll find how you can use all these groups as part of your code. Now that we have a change set, what we want to do is to commit this change set. Status. We can see the pages we've modified. And you give it a meaningful name. You can say closes 43 if this is going to be the last commit, or you can just say added information on Chaos Monkey. Note that we're still working on our local branch. Once we have all of our changes in place, we can continue to iterate and make more commits to the local repository. We want to push it upstream. You can find out how you can do this here. First, we're going to fetch origin to check for conflicts. We're going to set the upstream to origin. And we're going to rebase. Next, we're going to push to origin. Oops. Obviously, we want to push our current branch, right? See, that's why copy pasting is not good for you. We've successfully pushed our branch. Let's see what's happening in the GitHub repository. In the GitHub repository, you'll see that somebody has recently pushed a branch. It happens to be me in this case, right? So I'm going to click compare and pull requests. You'll see that we're asking to be able to merge this file. We're creating a pull request. So we're going to say edit information on Chaos Monkey as part of video recording series. It shows us the changes, and what we're going to do is create a pull request. I can also suggest who the reviewer for this pull request is going to be. So for all sections, please select your sprint leader or select the person who's working on this item before submitting a pull request. It's also doing a number of checks here to ensure that the change is going to be built. So my advice before you ask your reviewer, I'm going to do something naughty here and I'm going to review this myself, right? So I'm going to assign it to myself. Okay, the Travis build has passed here. This branch has no conflicts with the base. We're still doing one integration check, which is in progress. I'm just going to click on details to see that everything is going according to plan. Okay, it should be finishing our build soon. And if we haven't broken the build, all checks have passed. Somebody is going to merge your pull request. You should not be doing this yourself. You should ask one of the reviewers to merge it. If it's been merged, you can also delete your branch if you're no longer working on this separate branch. So going back on code, we're going to see that we only have 2 branches because we've deleted the existing branch, and our changes will be published here soon. So looking at the repository, let's see what's happening with our merge request here. It should be building. The build is running. It's running from our merge request. With the build complete, you can now go back and inspect your changes. Going back to the repository, we can take a look at the list of issues. Let's take a look at issue 43. As you can see, this is still not closed. In order to close this, we can either say close the issue once the changes are in place, or you can make a git commit with the name fixes or closes #43 in the title.